Hello, I'm Ben Chapman and welcome to my quick portfolio run through. On the screen we can see the VS Code of my first project. This is the portfolio project. This site has kind of evolved. I got behind and then I was working on separate copies of folders for each of the week's assignments, and when I came to put them together things were challenging. As a result, I do have some duplicate CSS files, etc. So I've gradually moved the code that's active across just into one file and commented the rest out. Believe the site's functional as it is. We can see on the right I'm just using the VS Code preview function. Added some skills here, formatted them, put a bit of color on them for when I hover. Overall for the site, I prefer just grays and blues. I use red for the remove button and match that to my footer just so that stands out a bit. Click on the about page, that works, and gone with the grays and the blues again. I put in a little Java button here for fun just to allow you to change the heading, and the page resize is reasonably. Back on the main page I put a click button here, just was experimenting with different colors. Thought I'd just leave that in as an added feature. On the right project section, these are pulled in from GitHub as per the task. Going down to the form section, so I used adapted a form that we used in one of the classes. So I changed it around to message and email. I may try and add a name in as well just before my final submission, but just to show the functionality, you can remove existing entries, and if I just add an entry here, you can just see that it does work. And there we go. So in terms of looking at it with the developer mode, here it is just running off locally. We can go to the inspect, look at a few different options here. When the size is down, it still keeps the functionality on moderate size sites, and if we go really small to an old pixel, I think its size as well, it still retains the full functionality. Obviously you can go back or whatever to achieve the other functions. In terms of the Open API project, when I started that I intended it to be something that I could add to this existing website. As a result I went for similar colors and fairly minimal layout. As you can see, again I've gone with the blues and the grays. I just went with temperature and condition for the endpoints. Most challenging part, I suppose, was understanding how to use these codes that I got on the Open Medio site. These then pull in the temperature. If I refresh it, there we go, it's updated. So at the moment I'm just using some fixed coordinates I found, it's just New York, and I hope to be able to replace those if I added functionality to obtain location data from the user's browser. Most challenging part was learning best practice and to be disciplined. So by the time I started this part I knew how to label, set up and format, etc. Whereas when I was doing the original project, I was kind of haphazard, hadn't logically labeled all my additional pages. and that caused some issues. There's also my experience page. I did it as a separate page, pulled in the icons. I have a connect page. I did it as a separate page, but I need to flesh that out. It does have the requested email link. Skills and projects here, it just jumps to that link. If it was allowable, I'd probably move some of these to separate pages and flesh them out. So in addition to the projects here, I'd have that clickable, and then I'd have screenshots to show examples of each of the projects, etc. In terms of the skills, also do the same. I'd pick maybe the best parts of the projects to illustrate the individual skills, and then have links that would jump to those and show how I implemented those. And that brings us to the end of this run through. I think I've gone a bit over, so I'll stop now and say thank you.